guys, what's up? It's Naomi, the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Savage story time, right? Now, some of these, I'm like, whoo, just the titles alone, I'm like, whoo. So, I mean, make sure you grab your, your tea, your popcorn, your snacks, whatever, just make sure you don't choke on them. That's all I ask, right? So, let's hop on into these stories. Oh, my bad. Today we're going to be doing some more Am I the Applesauce? So let's get into it, right? Put my lovely spectacles on. I'm so cute. Okay, enough. Okay, so let's see this first one, right? So it says, am I the applesauce because when my brother and his husband adopted a baby, I asked if they got a dog or a cat? Yeah, honey. Just from the title, I want to say he's the applesauce, but I mean, let me not judge. Maybe they were talking about getting an animal and just decided to adopt a child and didn't tell anybody. I mean, so let's get into this before I make assumptions, because you all know what happens when you assume things. We make a applesauce out of you and an applesauce out of me, right? So let's get into this. So it says, throw away because it's embarrassing. Yeah, it kind of does sound embarrassing there, sweet cheeks. My brother and his husband recently adopted their son. It was kind of sudden. Baby dropped at the fire station sort of situation. Okay. I had known they were in the process of adopting, but as far as I knew, they were kind of early on. I don't know anything about the process, so I guess I thought a pregnant woman looked through stacks of applications, picked some family, met with them, and then went to the hospital to get the baby when it was born. Basically, I thought that there would be a lot of lead up to them becoming dads, and I would have a heads up. I mean, that's usually how it works, but not all the time. Okay, so it says, so my bro called me last week and said, congrats, you're an uncle. You have a little nephew. And reflectively, I just said, oh, nice. Did you get a dog or a cat? I was really leaning towards that he was the applesauce from like the title, but I can kind of see where it's like, I mean, yeah, it's an applesauce move, but I probably would have done the same thing, not realizing. But then I probably would have been like, oh, did you get a baby? Like, is there a baby type of thing? Like trying to save my butt. I don't know. My bro was silent for a bit, and I was thinking, that's not a hard question. And he finally says, a human baby. We adopted a baby boy. Oh, I would like, if I was the brother, I'd feel like about this big. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here so far now. And I was like, boop, sorry, that was fast. You know what? I probably would have said the same thing, like, crap, my bad. Like, I didn't realize it happened that fast. So, you know what? I'm kind of leaning towards he's not the applesauce now, right? My mom was absolutely horrified. Tell that woman to stop clutching her pearls. It was an honest mistake. Good gravy. At this story, and I'd been deemed the biggest family applesauce this year over it. My brother doesn't seem mad. His husband seems to be very annoyed with me. No one understands why I would ask that. So, I mean, I don't know. Am I the applesauce here? I'm not a neurotypical, so it's hard for me to know if maybe they're teasing me and not actually that mad. However, in this situation, needs a real sit down and kind of apology from me being a major applesauce, then I want to do that. Okay, like I can kind of see like where he's coming from, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you knew, but they were like in the early stages. Like, I probably would, I mean, he even said like, oh, snap digitally, like, floaty little floaters in the toilet. Like, I'm sorry, my bad, There's an update, right? Update. Whoa, this blew up overnight. I talked to my brother and brother-in-law this morning, and I told them like what I said here, and I apologized. They said they weren't mad at all, and they thought it was funny. They said if they seemed upset, it could be because a lot changed suddenly for them. That is very true. So I think I could have misunderstood them being busy and tired of being annoyed. Being busy, tired for being annoyed. Okay. I asked about the pause on the phone because to me, if someone takes longer than about 1 to 2 seconds to begin speaking after I speak, and especially if I count over 5 seconds, then probably that is confusion or surprise, I believe. My brother said he wasn't sure if I was attempting a joke and he should laugh, or if I was confused. That's what he was thinking on the pause. My family likes to tease me because when I learned about sarcasm in first grade, I then tried it out and told my dad I had a terrible day at school when he asked, trying to be sarcastic. But my inflection was wrong, so he thought I was serious. My brother was trying to figure out if that kind of thing was happening again. But as it turns out, actually no one in my family is mad at me. They apparently are still poking fun that I couldn't tell. My mom's reaction was apparently not horror and anger in an angry way, but in a funny disbelief kind of way. I feel a lot better about it now. Oh, good, I'm glad. Because, like I said, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I straight up thought he was the applesauce, like, just when I read the title. But then as I read into it, I was like, I probably would do, like, the same thing, and then like I said, like he even said, what was it? Where did it go? He said the S word, snap, crackle, and pop, that one. Sorry, that was fast, and exactly. So I'm glad that his family thinks he's not the applesauce, because neither do I. This next one, guys, just from the title, get your tea. Just get it, because it sounds juicy, right? This next one. Am I the applesauce for not wanting my husband to go to his ex's funeral? I done told you, go get your tea. Go get your tea. Like, if you haven't gotten it yet or you haven't gotten your snacks, like, I'll wait. Are you back? You ready? Like, because I have a feeling this one's going to be good. Honestly, like, I'm not sure how to... I don't know. I feel like maybe I need to read more into the story before I assume that, this person is the applesauce or not. Like, were they together for like a week and he's like, cool, I gotta go. Because I'd be like, y'all didn't have like a connection in a week, right? But if it was like, I don't know, you know him since a child, high school sweethearts, and I don't know, they broke up into, whatever. Let's not assume, because again, we know what happens when we assume. I make an applesauce out of me and you. So let's get into this one, right? So it says, I admit, I'm biased right off the boot. I couldn't stand her. I call her his ex. To myself and others, he called her his friend. Okay. Well, we're in our early 40s. She died recently, an aneurysm. Oh, damn. I've been with him 10 years now, but I've known her for 20 plus. Oh, but he'd known her for 20 plus. Okay. The way he tells it, they were friends in college, decided to date, got married, then realized they weren't a great couple and decided just to be friends. And that happened years before I met him. He was clearly early on that she was important. Okay. So a couple months into dating, it came up that his friend was actually his ex-wife. But it seems like they kind of... But let me get going. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more to it. Let's find out. He explained the above to me, saying that she was one of his closest friends and that it was purely platonic. I expressed some discomfort at him being so close to his ex, and he told me that's fine. If you have a serious issue with it, let me know and save us some time. I'll choose her. I like you and all, but I've known her for over 12 years, and she's one of the most important people in my life. It kind of sounds like, like they became friends type of thing, got into the relationship, got married, realized they were better off friends, and like it's kind of more like a brother-sister relationship. Like you really shouldn't be. But good for dude. And she's one of the most important people. You'll have to be okay with that if you want us to be a thing. So, I mean, he was straight from the door, from the get-go, well, maybe not from the get-go, but, just a couple months into it, and they've been together for 10 years. I'm kind of leaning towards you're the applesauce, because chances are if you're with him for 10 years, you agreed that it was fine that he was friends with her. Okay, hold on. I mean, let me not jump. Let me not jump to conclusions, right? When we were engaged, I asked again. He gave me the perplexed look and asked, why would us getting married affect my friendship? Exactly. This chick sounds a little insecure. I sucked it up and went along. I resented every moment of knowing her, especially when we had to be social. She understood some part of him I couldn't. Her husband was friends with mine as well. So she even had a husband, so what the hell are you being, jealous? Oh, my good gravy. Okay. Let me get my tea, right? Okay. So not only a couple months into the... let me hold my comments. Let me just hold them in, because, I'm biting my tongue, guys. Okay. Where was I at? I got myself. Okay, so she sucked it up and went along. I resented every moment of knowing her, especially when we had to be social. She understood some part of him I couldn't. Her husband was friends with mine as well, so it's not like I could use him as an angle. He'd have lunch with his ex. They go to their geeky movies or whatever. A few times I brought it up, and he said, we had this conversation before. You had your chance to back out. He is 100% right. He is 100% right. And so far, I'm leaning with you're the applesauce, because he told you, kind of in the beginning of the relationship, and you're 10 years in now, that, if this is an issue for you, there's the door. Females and males can be friends. I have some exes that I'm friends with. You know what I mean? Will anything ever happen between us? Oh, hells to the no. But, let me... right? The next one. She died after they had lunch the other day on the way to her car. He spent a bunch of time crying, but I honestly was relieved. Oh, you are a cold, heartless, excuse my freaking language, but bitch! Holy hot damn! I thought I could be cold-hearted and insensitive, but you're just honey, you are the applesauce. I don't even think I need to finish reading this. I'm coming up with you are the applesauce, sweetheart. Okay. Let me see. He was working with her husband on funeral planning. I told him, you don't think you're going, do you? Oh, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall to see her husband's reaction. My argument summed up, she's dead. She's not a factor anymore. He doesn't get to use his she's my friend excuse since she doesn't exist anymore. He had his cry for a couple days. He gets to be done with mourning her already. There's no need for him to go to her funeral since I wouldn't want her at his. He was the angriest I've ever seen him. I bet you're dirty diaper he was. Oh, I bet you. Oh, good gravy. I've ever seen him when I told him that, replying that he'd be going no matter how I feel. And you know what? No, exactly. Good for him. And that he's willing to burn this to the effing ground while holding up his wedding band. Besides you, she was the closest friend in my life. Him, her husband, and my sisters are calling me an insensitive applesauce. Oh, because you are, sweetheart. Oh, like you are. You are. Bless your heart. That's what I gotta say. Bless your heart. Over this all saying that there was no romantic aspect to the relationship and that I'm heartless. Did I not just say that? Did I not just say she's heartless? Her husband went as far as calling me a ghoul, because you are. And he was being nice about that, for how I reacted. I never felt the relationship was appropriate, and I hid that for years because I wanted to be with my husband. Now that she's gone, I don't feel I should have to hide it anymore and can speak freely. Am I the applesauce for just wanting him to be done with her and for him not to attend her funeral? Yes, you are. Like, that is your husband's friend. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if they were married or not before. He told you from the get-go. Like, oh, this has me so fired up. You have no clue. Like, that's just wrong. Wrong on so many levels. Like, no. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, I can't. Like, honestly, like, I hope her husband leaves her. I really do. Because you wanted to be with your husband, but you knew that was a package deal. Like, and like, there's a time and a place for things. Like, right after she dies is not the time for you to be bringing up your insecurities. You dumb. Let's move on to the next one, right? So it says, would I be the applesauce if I had it out with my dying sister? Uh-oh. You guys got your tea? You need another refill? I tell you. Whew. These are good. Okay, this next one. A little background first. So this may be kind of long, as I've never posted here before. When I, 34 female, was growing up, I'd pass out occasionally. They never could figure out why. Cut to college, and my junior year, it turned into full-blown seizures, passing out. Senior year, I went into cardiac arrest. Holy hot damn. The doctors were really bad in the state where I lived and put me on 20 pills a day, said it was anxiety and all sorts of crap. Through all of this, I finished college from home. My school does that for students. Got a job that knew my issues and were cool. Met and moved in with my now husband to a different state. It would happen when I was driving. I'd not feel good, and now I had like 5 minutes before full-blown seizure, so I pull over, have one, be tired, go home. Went to the ER for one and went into cardiac arrest again. Holy Hannah. A doctor in the new state finally figured out after 5 years that I had The doctor in the new state finally figured it out after 5 years of that. I had heart surgery and have been fine since. Turns out I had a generic heart disorder / SVT. Heart would go from 86 beats to 264 in seconds while sitting there. Now here is where I want to know if I would be the applesauce. Okay. My sister, 24, is going through the same thing. She saw my doctor and they said, yeah, you need the surgery. She refuses to get it because she might... Well, she will without it too. What makes me so angry is she dropped out of college. She lives with mom, doesn't work, does literally nothing. All right, I'm kind of, if this is where it, like, I think it's going, I'm going to go with you would not be the applesauce if you tell this, your sister, like, where she needs to go. Like, Mom wakes her up with breakfast in bed every morning. She does no chores because they make her tired. Tried online college, but it just wasn't for her. I mean, there's some people that they do need that classroom setting, though. So, I mean, I'm not going to say the girl's an applesauce for not doing that. You know what I mean? But she could still get up and go to a regular college classroom if that was the case. Mom tried to get her qualified for disability, and my sister wouldn't fill out the paperwork. She is wasting her youth just sitting at home and playing video games all day. I've tried talking to her about it gently, and she keeps saying she has to focus on her mental health first. She does see a therapist regularly, and even though they have begun telling her, look, this won't get better, my mom is getting older and should be enjoying her golden years, not taking care of an adult. I just want to scream at her. If mom were to fly away, what's your plan? You can't support yourself and you won't be living with me. I know that sounds cruel. I already essentially raised 3 babies, siblings 10, 11, and 12 years younger than me. And I'm not having kids for a reason. So would I be the applesauce if I had a come to Jesus moment? Not religious, just can't think of a better phrase. No, honey, you would not be the applesauce. For the fact that, like, she even went to your doctor, like, and they were like, okay, this is what you need to do. She's choosing not to do the surgery. You know, like, and it's like, even when she was, like, you were going through it, you know, like, you still, you know, like, what I think you said, like, you did online school, found a job, you know, that worked with you, all that, like, kudos to you, you know. Your sister, she just sounds like a lazy freaking snot who doesn't want to do anything. Like, she can't even fill out, like, disability papers that could at least, like, help your mom with the bills or at least help her with the groceries. I say, go for it, girlfriend. You just climb all over her and you have a come to Jesus meeting with your sister, because as far as I'm concerned, you would not be the applesauce. So, with that said, guys, who do you think gets the crown for number 1 applesauce this week, right? I think I'm going to have to go with the wife who got, you know, all butthurt because her husband's, you know, friend / ex-wife that, like, was there before her, she's the applesauce. But you let me know down in the comments. With that said, guys, I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys.